Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Collective Dismal here. I just finished a 12-and-a-half-hour shift at the job, and I'm going to tell you about what's been going on at work, predictable cycles of wagey fatigue. This is going to be the most all over the place, scattered, disjointed video I've probably ever made. We're going to go through, just a whole bunch of nonsense, complaining and analyzing. And then at the end of this video, I want you guys to stay tuned because I'm going to do something very special at the end of this video. I'm going to issue an award for the 2025 BlackPiller Inseller of the Year. So I want you to stay tuned for that, please. I implore you. So I was only supposed to work 2 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. today. And as I was walking through the door, I got a text from my boss, the big boss man. And he asked me, he said, your coworker such and such is sick and he can't come in. Do you mind just staying the whole night from 2 until 2:30 a.m.? Do you mind just doing that for me? Even though I worked until 1:30, almost basically left the building at 2, but wasn't even being paid past 1:30. Last night, and I got to come in, and this is the guy who called in sick is the guy I mentioned in some previous videos. This wannabe MMA fighter fucking guy, the Zoomer, right, with the cauliflower ears. And, okay, so I'm going to put it like this. This is going to be probably a very long video, and I don't really care. If you like me, you'll listen. If you don't, kick off, right? But I'm not going to choreograph this shit. We're just going to go for it. So anyways, this guy has the worst attendance of any fucking coworker I've ever had. And that's saying a lot. I've known guys. Anyways. So he effectively just wants to work here in name only. From what I can surmise, he just wants to earn enough money to basically pay for his, jiu-jitsu lessons or whatever. And then he just wants to be able to tell his mom or whatever that he has a job, and he could probably say, oh, they're just not scheduling me, that's why I'm never there, but I do have a job, they're gonna, something like that, right? So I've told this guy before, I'm like, you know what, I could use the hours, I need the money, etc., but please do not dump it on me last minute, because I manage my energy in a very concerted way. It's I want to know, okay, will I have enough energy after this shift to read? If not, I should do it before. I want to play with my family, my child, all these things, right? I want to watch movies. I got to schedule podcast if I'm going to stream with somebody. All of this shit. I like to kind of know what I'm doing. It's not a matter of not wanting the hours or being averse to working, but this guy's asking me an hour before the shift, and he's doing these really annoying things he'll be supposed to be relieving you at say 8 p.m. So all shift, you're kind of just watching the clock, you're gauging, okay, I got 3 hours left, I got 2 hours left, and then fucking 1 hour before. More often than not, this will happen. He'll say, oh, I can't come until 9:30, or do you just want the whole shift? Do you just want to do the whole thing? Something like this, right? The guy does not want to work. And my boss, Serbian guy, right, who I've already had kind of a storied history with Serbians growing up and whatnot, but he does not, he hires all these fuckwits that just don't work. There's 2 other guys that do the same shit, and they get scheduled for even less hours a week. The one guy was saying, he got in a car accident, this guy's sick, that guy's... It's all fucking phooey, right? None of it's true. And we know that it's true, and they know that we know that it's true, but nobody, like, just says the emperor has no clothes, dude. You don't want to work here. And so, yeah, my boss hits me with the, oh, could you stay, right? And I says, well, I got to work tomorrow at 6 in the morning. How can I work until 2 a.m.? And he puts it on me, this motherfucker puts it on me. He goes, oh, well, you can ask around, like, call this guy, call that. Like, he wants me to find my own replacement while I bail him out, right? And this guy's in Mexico on a fucking beach. The guy's in Mexico with his wife on a fucking beach. Well, I'm breaking up fights with all these freaking niggity nogs, like, and we're gonna get into that. So, last night, okay, I work at basically a sport ball stadium, right? And there's this game going on. And I was bored at my desk. I'm supposed to be like a receptionist / caretaker, janitor, maintenance. They got me doing everything. Just like that stupid fucking truck driving job this time last year that had me cleaning toilets. I was the janitor and the truck driver, right? Like, how does that even work? This job's like not all that different. Like, I'm like a receptionist, but I'm also like the caretaker, and I'm also like an official, all this stuff, right? This fucking scorekeeper, whatever the fuck. So these guys get into a fight. They get into a little tussle. Somebody held the guy's shirt while they were playing, and the guy didn't like it. He grabbed his shirt back. The guy said he ripped his shirt. He shoved him. And it turned tribal because there's a lot of colored folks where I work. I mean, a lot of them. And they basically teamed up on like 4 white dudes, and they were like, turned it into a mosh pit. And I was trying to split it up. I'm a peacekeeper. I'm a very calm guy. I'm not the collective dismal that you guys know from YouTube fucking spurgouts, right? I'm a very mild-mannered, soft-spoken, kind, like, very fucking mild-mannered when I'm at work, right? And these guys start going at it, and you did this, blah, 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 blah. Everybody's jumping in to give their 2 cents. There's like 10 guys getting involved. And I'm in the middle of them, and I'm, guys, let's chill. I'm not taking sides. Let's all just relax. Let's, go easy. It's just a fun game. Everybody, let's just come back from this. Let's pull out of this tailspin. And they're ignoring me, right? Just blatantly ignoring me. And I felt like really disrespected, and I blew my fucking lid. I'm not kidding. Like, probably one of the biggest, like, rage outbursts I've ever had in my fucking life. I started screaming. I'm like, guys, shut the fuck up, or I'm gonna fucking start dragging people the fuck out of the fucking building. Fucking try me. Like, I went ballistic on these people because I'm pent up from, like, things I talk about in these videos. Number one, my home life is just, it's constant fucking stress out to my fucking eyeballs, right? And number two, I have to deal with people like this all the time at work. Why? So I could make $500 a week and live with my parents, and it's not even like enough to plan a future at all. And meanwhile, this guy's fucking gallivanting around in fucking Mexico, like drinking fucking whatever the fuck, right? Having the greatest time of his life. While I'm back here running his business for him, putting my fucking safety at harm. And when I freaked out on these guys, they shut the fuck up. Like, I'll tell you right now, these guys, they fucking shut up, man. Like, I bet some of these people had never heard, like, someone raise their voice like this. And I don't have, like, a real, I have, like, a little bit of a, like, an Arrested Development voice. I don't have, like, the deepest or most masculine voice, obviously. And I fucking broke my voice. I couldn't speak after. I was screaming in this guy's face, this black dude. I'm like, and it was funny too. I go, and this is going to be the tidbit for this video. I'm going to tell you how to de-escalate with nons. 2 very, very fucking good rules of thumb to follow if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're confronted with, like, chimp out Nick, right? I'll tell you how to kind of de-escalate them, or 2 things to never do, right? So it's funny, I'm kind of screaming in this guy's face, but in a way I'm consoling him. I'm like, I'm not fucking saying you did shit, bro. Does my fucking tone sound accusatory to you? No, I'm not saying you did shit. Just fucking calm down right now. Like, I'm like going like this, right? I'm like, fucking calm down. I'm not against you, but I'm gonna fucking drag you out of here, bro. You're gonna be fucking embarrassed in a minute if I have to fucking drag your ass out of this fucking place, bro, like a little kid. And this guy was like, he wasn't even a small guy, man. Like, I don't know, like, it could have got sketchy, man. It could have got crazy. So this was last night, and I come in today, and there's almost a fight again between some like 16-year-old white kid, some fucking Polak, and again, some big Dindu that was like 10, 15 years his elder, and the guy was way bigger and would have crushed him like a fucking bug, man. And I'll tell you what, and then there was a third almost altercation between some like African / Jamaican fucking Pacific Islander, whatever the guy was, right? He was like a foreign black versus kind of like a homegrown mulatto type. Like, you could tell the other guy was like born in Canada. He was like a light skin, an ultra light skin, I guess I would like categorize him. But the light-skinned guy was like very small. He's like, you could tell he had very small calves, very small. Like, he wasn't a big guy, but he had a big mouth. He had a big fucking mouth on him. And he got this guy going. And I'll tell you how both of these 2 fights started, so you can avoid this mistake. It might save your life and the lives of people around you if you listen to what I'm about to tell you, what never to do. So, and of course, there's no fucking parking on my whole goddamn street. What in the fuck, bro? Too many Jeets move into the neighborhood, bro. I've never in my life not been able to find parking on my street. 30 years of living at this address until the last, like, couple of years when we've had some Jeets move in on the block. But anyways, so from what I heard, what I could make out of this commotion, this mulatto guy called the guy an idiot, or he called him a retard or something like that during a game, right? Like, they were trying to play like a sport ball match, and the guy told him, you know, he probably missed a shot, or he missed something, he didn't do something he was supposed to do, or he was out of position, and he told him something like this, like, fucking run, retard, or something like that. You fucking idiot, man, like that. If you know what's good for you, man, never ever call an African or a Jamaican or Caribbeanite, whatever. Never call them idiot, dumb, stupid, retard, anything that connotes like lack of intelligence, basically. For some reason, and I'm going to speculate as to why. I think I know the reason, but they fly off the handle when you insinuate that they're stupid. And somebody in my Telegram chat, I think he hit the nail on the head. He's like, I think they're more like aware of the IQ gap or whatever because of the fact that in their country they don't have like PC woke tards and like white women telling them that they're not like below the bell curve or whatever. So they know that there's this perception of them as being dumb. They're pretty aware of it, and they're sensitive about it. Whereas like for an African American or like somebody that was born in the West, you know, native English speaker, whatever, I think they take insults like dumb or retard or whatever. They just take it as like a generic insult, like it's just a kind of a banter, almost as if you called them like an FAG or you called them like a bitch or something like that, right? They don't actually literalize the insult, but Africans do. It's a very like nuanced social uh um translation. How do you say that? Not a misunderstanding, let's say. That's not the word I wanted, but it's like a common misunderstanding that can get your fucking head bashed in, man. Like, something about Africans, Jamaicans, whatever, they take insults in a literalist sense. Like, say you called him like a COCK sucker or whatever when you were like kind of, playing like basketball against him. He would take it as if you had made a homosexuality accusation against him. They don't just see it as like, oh, that guy laid like a blanket insult on me. No, they take it like, you're accusing me of this. And the guy goes, I'm trying to break up this fight. And I could feel the guy. I kind of put my hand on his shoulder, like just to sort of tell him, like, hey, boyo, take it easy, whatever. Like, let's not get nuts. And I could feel this guy was like fucking, first of all, I could feel he was jacked. Like, I could feel the guy was like super fucking jacked. And he was soaked in sweat because this was at the end of the match, whatever, the end of their game. So the guy was soaked in sweat. He would have been very hard. Like, I don't even think I could have probably like held on to him if he wanted to come forward at this guy. I'm like, man, this guy was like a ball of muscle, and he was so mad. He was doing that Samuel L. Jackson thing where like one of his eyes is like more closed than the other. And I was like, chill, bro, chill. He's like, why you tell me chill? He called me idiot. Why you fucking call me idiot? What do you fucking call me idiot? Like that, right? I'm like, holy shit, dude. And there's a fucking family of like Mexicans, little kids and like old people, like 5 feet away. These guys had no like self-awareness or anything. Like, this guys didn't care who the fuck was around them. Like, they could have been surrounded by nuns and they wouldn't have like been aware of it whatsoever, right? Whatever, what have you. So these are the two takeaways from all of this, right? Don't ever call them stupid or like an idiot or a moron, anything like that. And number two, never accuse them of anything. Like, don't have like an accusatory tone, and don't say you did it. You have to get assertive with them because all they respect is like loud noise and chaos, right? That's the only thing that will like actually capture their attention. But you have to, dude, honestly, I could be like a negotiationist for the fucking, for like the FBI or the SWAT team or whatever. Like, I could be the guy that like, honestly, I could be a guy that like talks down suicide jumpers, ironically, given like the things I talk about on this channel. But like, I think I have a knack for this. I know exactly, you have to scream at them while you kind of absolve them of like blame. You're like, I'm not blaming you, bro. Just fucking chill. Like, fucking chill out. You have to do like that, right? You got to get like in their face, but be like, I'm your boy, bro. Just fucking chill. Like, I'm not against you. I'm on your side, bro. Just fucking stop. Like, it's really funny how you have to kind of like, tailor your behavior to like dealing with these like unreasonable fucking animals. But anyways, what else is funny too, right? There's been situations on this side note, like back to the whole my coworker not showing up thing. There have been situations, man, where like nobody on our staff would pick up a shift and a guy had just flopped on it last second, just dropped it at everyone's feet. Never, ever did my boss even think for a second about getting his son and or daughter to come in and fill the spot, which really irks me, man. It really irks me because it's a family business, essentially. I work for like a small, and this is why like the conservatards, man, they were so wrong during COVID. Oh, my small business. We need to support my small business. Small businesses, and I know I'm not the first one to like have this take or whatever, but I think it's still like a minority view. But small businesses are worse than the fucking Great Satan, dude. They are worse than fucking Amazon. They're worse than fucking Alibaba or whatever. You name. They're the fucking worst, right? And this is why, because like this guy would let his business fucking go tits up before he would have his son come in, his able-bodied 25-year-old son, before he would even fucking have him come in and work like 4 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. He wouldn't do bugger all. And it sends the message to me that they are too good. My kids are too good to come in here and break up a fight with between Jamal and Tyrese. My son can't be in the middle of that, but you're going to be the one doing that. Even though you have a family, and even though, you live at home with your parents, and, I'm fucking 10 years the elder of his fucking son, and it's like, man, that leaves a shitty taste in my mouth, that fact about it. But it's like, you know what, man, a couple of more weeks, and I don't think I'll be returning. I'm going to be left in limbo land when I get back from my trip overseas, because while I'm gone, my parents are going to be pretty much like preparing the house, doing these like light renovations in order that they can put it on the market and sell it. And it's pretty much going to be like sayonara to the last shred of my family in existence. I'm going to be left with like my psychopath wife, who's going to have now 100% leverage over me. The only leverage I really have on her at the moment is that we live under my parents' roof. But once that goes, man, I'm really going to be like subordinated in a scary fucking way. So, but, I mean, hey, I'm going for it, baby. I don't sit around. That's one thing about me. I don't sit around and wait for the world to change like John Mayer. Like, I'm fucking going for it, man. I'm running into the burning building, and we're going to see if we can, like, crack slip somewhere here. I've had so many things fall through last year. One of them I'm going to talk about. I had an idea. Not an idea. I was involved with basically a startup tech company that specialized in a fitness gadget. I was brought on board because of my expertise and my credentials in the fitness field, and we had an idea that we probably could have sold for $20 million. And because I was dealing with some fucking boomers, they just more or less threw a temper tantrum and flipped the board over, and all of it went nowhere. And that warrants like, it's the closest to getting rich. I didn't even want to talk about it on this channel because I'm like, dude, I might actually be a guy. I'm not even joking. Like, I came like a cunt's hair away from becoming a guy that, I wouldn't be like on a poster anywhere, on a billboard, but I would have been a guy that was like relevant in the sense that I would almost have to like scrub all of this kind of stuff that I've ever put out, right? Like, it was getting serious. There was a lot of potential here, but it's of course, I was dealing with boomers, and I need not say more. But what else? So anyway, I want to get down to the real point of this video, and I'm not going to take too long with this. I need to give credit where it's due. There's a YouTuber in this community who I think is criminally underappreciated. And I think that he is, at the moment, at the present time, the most relevant BlackPiller in the incel community. right? And that's not a very deep talent pool here. If you even make videos at all, regardless of how awful they are, you'll be in the top 10 pretty much of like underground black pill content creators, just because it's, kind of tantamount to like the UFC's heavyweight division or something. There's just not even like enough guys doing it to even make a top 10. So it's like de facto you rank, and you're like ranked the second you even engage, you're already like top ranked. But this guy, I think, is by every measurable or objective measure, he's the number one guy in this sphere at the moment, and that would be Of Dust and Clay, aka As Man Thinketh. I know him as Alexander. He's um goes by a number of names, but this guy really, his journey is unbelievable. Like, for anybody that's trying to kind of document the decline, there's nobody better to do that but he and I. And this isn't to disparage anyone else, who like makes content or whatever. I want to encourage as many of my listeners to make content as possible, because some of you guys, I mean, you have nothing to lose. You're nobody. You're never going to be anybody that's worth doxing or canceling, anything like that. And a lot of you guys have brilliant original insights, top tier stuff. I mean, I get a lot of comments on my videos that just easily surpass the whole video itself. Honestly, people will put a lot of effort in. It never ceases to amaze me, like the quality of some of the responses I get to some of these videos. And yet, you go to their channel and there's nothing uploaded, and they've never really gone any further than leaving a high IQ and insightful comment on like my video or someone else's. So it's kind of a shame, but this guy, it's unbelievable the kind of journey that his life took last year. And I was lucky enough, he kind of pops in and out of my Telegram chat from time to time. So I know him maybe a little more personally. Not that I know him like intimately, but I know him a bit more personally than maybe someone who's merely like followed him on YouTube. But this guy was disowned by his mother. She slammed the door in his face and said, "Have a nice life," at the start of the year last year. Who wasn't even his mother. She was an adoptive foster mother who never wanted him. His adoptive father was the one that wanted him, and he died very young and untimely, and he got just stuck in this unfortunate situation with this woman who just really was dispassionate, despondent toward him, and the guy, he's basically found himself alone, just being a rentoid and a toiler. Basically, he was a entry-level pyramid builder. Like, this guy was just a backbreaker, right? On some, like, just job hopping, like working in the trades or whatever as like a broom pusher. Despite he's very skilled, I've seen some of the contract work he's done, renovations stuff, very skilled, right? I couldn't do. I have a lot of merits in certain ways. I'm very good at philosophy and music and but I couldn't do with my hands remotely what this guy's capable of. He's skilled. And I'm not trying to glaze him. Like, I don't even know as he'd appreciate me making this video. He certainly didn't ask for it. But one thing I fucking hate and can't stand is when people withhold due praise from some people and they heap undue praise onto other people. And people in this sphere are so guilty of this, man. They're so sycophantic. Like, a lot of people just base like their perception of somebody's merit based on this kind of like lore around them. That's somehow like, you've seen this a lot with Hoka, to be honest, where guys are, the Hoka lore and stuff. And I gotta be honest, like not to, and I was guilty of this for a long time. I was like, man, this guy's like he's a genius, he's a G, whatever. And then it's like, you know what, man? Not really. You had rose-colored glasses on because for whatever reason, like people just kind of came together and agreed that this guy was like very insightful and he was like pushing the frontier. But then you kind of listen to it as you mature a little bit and you're like, I don't even think the guy's fallen off. He just never had it. And the problem was on my end, right? And then this, Dustin Clay would be like the flip side of this. It's like everybody's saying, well, he's kind of, what? This guy is that he is the top dog. He's not sitting on the armchair, responding to fucking TikTok porn, or he's not sitting there doom scrolling and then trying to extrapolate from some fucking 20-second video clip, some like generalized rule about the dating market or talking about women. This guy is a guy that like his life is the black pill. It's experiential rather than descriptive. Like the guy, he went homeless because his personality is so disagreeable. This guy is so fucking stubborn and disagreeable that he simply refuses to work for anybody. He simply refuses to fucking bust his hump. And I gotta commend him for it, even though his disagreeableness has caused him, at times to like turn the gun on me a little bit. And I mean, I've had my goes, and it's not all one-sided, but it's like, what's so funny about this guy, and he and I are the only two who do this in this whole community, and who've ever been, I'll say the other guy who used to do this was Blue Skies Media. But other than that, like, we're pretty much set apart from the rest in the fact that we are chroniclers of the black pill. We are not theoreticians. We are experimenters. We go out and we have these horrific ordeals. And I seek them out. He is forced and thrust into them, but I seek them out because, I don't want to be the person that I am. I want to go and pretend temporarily for as long as I can that I'm not me. I want to be somebody else. Because my life sucks. Because, and it's funny how both of us we're the complete opposite, right? So he's decided, and you could actually mark the very moment when he moved beyond everybody else in this sphere was that video he made titled "I Choose Homelessness," where he basically, his last ditch effort was that some homosexual man had basically tried to give him a place to stay and basically groom him into paying this guy's bills and maybe wanting more from him. And the guy was like a total predator. The only time anybody ever acknowledges Dust's existence is when they want to predate him. They want to basically like exploit either his spine for labor, or they want to do something like really not good with him. Otherwise, he's invisible to the world, right? This guy was not having any of it. He went and lived outside in probably the most like environmentally difficult part of the country, honestly. And because I live like in this region too, on the other side of the border, and it's a fucking nightmare for like fucking 2/3 of the year. Like, it's just impossible to fucking, whatever, right? And he had people come up and burn down his encampment, all of this stuff. But the one thing, like, this guy, and he'll acknowledge this. He will acknowledge this. And this is why, like, he's more than earned my respect, is because By every sane standard, he should have roped 100 times over. This guy should have necked himself. Nobody cares about him. Nobody would notice he was gone. People only care about him when they're fucking don't like him, or when they're trying to use and abuse him, whatever, right? And his life is basically, when you look at it, like, probabilistically, it's almost like all avenues for kind of pulling himself up and out of this situation are like systematically closed off to him. It's an unwinnable hand of solitaire. It's like anybody who's played solitaire, they deal the cards, you hit new game, F1, new game, they deal the cards, there's your hand, right? And some versions of the game will tell you right away. You'll get like a pop-up, it'll notify this hand like cannot be won, and then you'll hit the retry button and it'll deal again. But a lot of versions of the game, they'll let you just play out this losing hand. It has no way of being won, but they'll still let you kind of tinker around with it for like 5-10 minutes before you figure that out. And that's what most people in this sphere are. Like, that's most of the people that follow my channel. They're people that they're just moving the cards around back and forth. Maybe I can do this, maybe I can. But you can't win this game. You cannot win this game. Like, it wasn't a winning hand at all. I don't care how many times you switch the Joker card to a 1 or an 11 or whatever. Like, but he doesn't have it in him to sewer slide. He simply doesn't. And it's not easy. Like, nobody can fault him for admitting that and acknowledging that, because people say, well, he took the easy way out. He took the coward's way out. Bro, this is the most difficult thing you would ever have to do. It is the least cowardly thing. And I'm not saying in all situations it's good, right? Like, some people are just mentally ill. Some people are just totally like mentally ill when they, go through with such and said act. But there are people who, use sound reasoning and logic, and they think about their odds, they assess the probability of it and all of this, and then they say, you know what, or they've brought shame to their family or whatever, right? There's a rational reason. They owe money to the mafia, who knows, right? But there's a sane and rational reason behind the decision to sewer slide in certain instances. And this guy, he has every reason possible, but the biological sort of override, like to where it's kind of trying to live for life's sake. Like Schopenhauer, he said, that the sentinel at the gate, that guards the gate. That's what you're up against. And it's like, the reason I'm so fascinated by this guy's journey is because, number one, a lot of people are going to be headed to where he's heading in the next 10 years. Okay? And he's in a situation where he's deterministically ended up there by two opposing trait dispositions he has. Number one, he's so disagreeable that he just refuses to let some normie fucking boss tell him what to do when he has no real incentive, meaning that he's never going to have a wife, he has no male friends, society doesn't view him as necessary, right? They view him as expendable, whatever. And all he's going to do is give all of that money to some slumlord, whatever, right? Some landlord, and basically repeat the same thing over. Come home, go to sleep, eat the slop, watch the slop, come back, go to sleep, go to work, have a day off. That's when you got to do your laundry. That's when you got to get caught up on sleep because you were like all of this stuff, right? And then you're dead. But before you're dead, your body breaks down and they like dispense with you. You know, a coward dies 1,000 deaths, a wagey dies 1,000 deaths. But on the flip side, like he doesn't have, at least at this point in time, he doesn't have what it takes to kind of just like, you know, turn the game off, let's say, right? And so he's just going to keep going down, keep going down, and keep going down. He's a man amongst the ruins, right? Like, he's not going to get on drugs because that's not like how he is. He's just not like a junkie. It's not the kind of person he is. He's not going to like rob and steal. He's just like a guy he's going to maintain his like sort of sanity and his pride through this whole thing. He's not going to like become a pathetic homeless person. And there's going to be a lot more people like this in the future, like guys who just, as time goes on, right? There's less and less and less incentive, as the currency's for debased and depreciated and all of this. There's less incentive for men to trade their time for it. There's simply a lot less incentive for men to trade their time for monetary gain that you can't even accumulate, because you're always you're always one like car repair away from losing the last fucking 8 months of like money that you've saved up. And it's designed that way. And there's less and less and less and less incentive to keep these guys in the system. But it's not like they're all just going to check out. It's not like they're all just going to walk over and turn the game off, if you know what I mean. Like, a lot. That's a very, very, very extremely difficult thing to do. And so they're just going to be outside. They're just going to be here and there and everywhere. And they're going to like have very strong convictions about, the ails of society. And they're still going to be like pointing the finger at like other subhumans and stuff like that, and fat people. And I'm kind of like all over the place with this video, but yeah, this guy, he's hard to put away. I got to give him that. He's really hard to put away. Every single aspect of polite society is like structured in such and such a way that they want people like him. They want people like me to just goon themselves impotent. Goon yourself impotent. Never meet a woman, never reproduce, get real bitter about it, lash out at the system, and eventually just basically like slide into the sewer, more or less. And in the kind of inverse way, I'm being forced into my situation by my immutable character traits. Number one, I can't leave somebody. I can't break up with somebody. Like, thank God my ex that I was with from 20 to 25, thank God she dumped me. And thank God when I was on my knees begging her not to, she didn't go for it, because, man, I commit so hard to relationships. Even if I engage in infidelity and whatnot, I would never, ever end my marriage, like under any circumstance except her infidelity. And I know people say, oh, that's a double standard, collective dismal. Okay, it's not the fucking same, all right? People are involved in this community. They know better. It's not the fucking same, okay? But I digress, I'm going to get basically dragged along in my relationship until I either just find a groove and settle into it where I can kind of just numb out and ride out the last few decades of my like physically / mentally painful existence. Or else, I'm going to just slide into the sewer one of these days. My we're going to get in an argument and I'm just going to kind of say enough's enough and I can't do this one more time. And I'm going to just climb up to the top of the slide and slide down into the sewer and that'll be it, right? But either way, I think it's deterministic. I think it's a deterministic thing. I don't really believe in free will. I don't really believe in the notion of free will. But I think determinism, I reserve it for like a case-by-case basis. I don't just universally apply it to like all events. All events are predetermined and whatever, right? I think certain things are inevitable, but certain things are deterministic, predestined. And I think, sliding into the sewers is of the latter sort. It's a predestined thing. You're either going to do it or you're not, because you're either like made that way or you're not. And yeah, that's that. So go subscribe to his channel, man. Like honestly, go subscribe to this guy's channel and watch his backlog and follow this guy's journey, because as like a kind of as a documentarian, he's a documentarian writing his autobiography. It's an auto documentary, and nobody is at the cusp as much as this guy. Honestly, he could trade war stories with fucking anybody, man, in this community. I'm damn sure of it. I wouldn't want to trade war stories with him. Like, I got scars, but other people got bigger scars than me, on their fucking heart. So, shoutouts, man. It's just been long overdue. So, dismal days indeed.